As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way.
Hi everyone, I'm Audrey and welcome to my YouTube channel, Profess and Protest. If you are new, please subscribe, and if you like what you see today, please leave a like and maybe a comment. So today, as you can see on my video title, Voodoo and Satanism in music. So today I kind of wanted to show the correlation between voodoo, music, Satanism, and how everything ties in, and give background info about how long this has been here and kind of to undo the deception, unravel it. So let's delve right into it. So voodoo drums actually originates in Africa, which were brought to the New World through slavery. It is based on the amalgamation of the spirit and ancestral cultures, and also with the healing traditions. It is the most popular among the Hades traditions, actually. In events where bad things would happen, voodooists consult with ritual specialists who perform divination and orchestrate ceremonies to provoke spirit possession and thereby enter into communication with them in order to discover, say, discord, disease, problems, misfortunes. But, now knowing that brief history on voodoo and the voodoo drums, it brings me to how it's connected to modern music and how the modern music and Satanism and how they actually can cast spells on you through TV portal ways that you open up yourself by allowing yourself to listen to these things and things that you don't even realize. So to start off, here's a quote from Bob Dylan. This is while he was getting interviewed in 1965. "If I told you what our music is really about, we'd probably all get arrested." End quote. Another quote, from Michael Ventura, and I quote, "It is a music that won't stop and it won't leave us alone. It speaks through the body and evokes the spirit." End quote. So depending on what god the voodooists, wanted to summon, really depended on the rhythms of the drums. When the natives were actually asked why they call to possess them, like why they call the gods to possess them, they actually said it feels exciting, that they're exhilarated, and that it makes them want to wave their hands and their arms and just dance around wildly and fall on the floor in apparent ecstasy. But afterwards, when they're asked, what happens afterwards when everything's done, they claim to feel depressed and show signs of depression, anger, and they would act out with small acts of violence, sometimes major, just depended. But it's a lot how, with the first part, how people in rock concerts, people act when, they're going to a concert and they just, music takes over them, you feel it in your soul and you feel something jumping in you. But from what they're saying, their experiences that sound the same as, a lot of people who go concerts, the way they feel, theirs is to do with deities possessing them, which are demons. So just keep that in mind, definitely. But so the beats of the drums actually, studies have found that it throws off the rhythmatic pattern of the human brain, and it actually makes it hard to concentrate, and thus making rational and having good discernment, decisions. So that's a big deal too. Actually, science can back it up, that actually messes with the wave patterns of your brain, and as we all know, your heart can actually move to it too. So this brings me to Moloch worship. So Moloch worship and drums kind of went hand in hand as well. So Moloch was the Old Testament false god spoken of in great detail in Leviticus and Jeremiah. He was a horned metal god that the Ammonites worshipped. He had a head of a bull with two huge horns and a body of a man. They would heat up his hands with fire and then sacrifice children by placing them on his burning hands to appease the false god. It was such a brutal death. They used drums to summon him and, summon Moloch, and at the same time, they also used the drums to drown out the dying children's screams. It's sick. And as you see, drums have been here for many thousands of years, and in the spirit worship of God, he never talks anything about drums. He doesn't talk about that. Actually, drums are known to be used with false idol worship, false god worships, even in India, and they're worshiping their gods and goddesses. That's what they do. and they're all connected, from voodoo to Moloch to India to, shamans, everything, they're all connected with drums. And it really has to make you think, drums, why is that drums and the rhythms each summon a certain demon? And if you're listening to something and it has those beats in it, wouldn't you think too that is also summoning a demon, and that it's not that you can't be attacked either. It's not just because it's people, yes, maybe they're willingly, knowingly doing it, but Satan, the father of all lies, he knows willingly a lot of us would not go along with us, and what better way to get us to have demons invited into our lives and our homes without us knowing it. So spiritual darkness is attached with voodoo drums, and as we said, it goes way back in culture. And also another thing, the hand to horn sign that gives homage to Moloch, as a lot of you know, the demon, that is why in Brock, but not limited to, you see them and the audience always throwing it up. It's not coincidence, it's not a new fad, it's not something that has just always been. I mean, it has, but it's not for the purpose of just loving rock and roll. It has to do with homage to Satan, or Moloch, or whatever you want to call him, demon. And a lot of people, I understand this, do not know the connotation of this hand sign, but really was research, and saying it goes back to the Masons, everybody's secret societies, Bohemian Grove, where they worship Moloch actually, and they throw up those hand signs, and the presidents and everybody else, if you really look into it. So, but moving on, I want to get to, there's a popular rock band, as we all know, the Beatles, very popular. They were being interviewed for the Playboy magazine, and they said, and I quote, "The whole Beatle idea was to do what you want, right? To take your own responsibility. Do what you want and try not to harm other people. Do what thou willst, as long as it doesn't hurt somebody," end quote. Do what thou willst, right there, that's an Aleister Crowley saying. That's in the Satanic book. That's a Satanist saying. And Aleister Crowley was a very infamous Satanist. And unlike the Satanists today who claim that, they don't really believe in Satan. They're actually more on the atheistic side, and that they just use it as a motto and as a way of life and all these things. But Aleister Crowley, he's the one who set all this up, and he does believe in Satan, the real one, not the motto. He believes in the real demonic fallen angel Satan, or Lucifer. Well, that was his heavenly name, but he believes in him, and he knew he was real, and he actually got the mass to blindly follow in Satanism. There's a lot of people who don't understand what they're into and what doors they're opening because they don't believe it, because they're fooled by him. And there's many quotes you can find from him in his books and online, and I'll try and find some and leave it in the link description. And he actually comes out and says, if the sheeple mass knew the truth about what Satanism was, you would never follow it. Many would never follow it. I'm not gonna say never anybody, but most would not follow it. And he said that some things he can just not say, aloud, or even in his book, because he doesn't want everything getting out. But he has a book on child magic, where if you're an intelligent little boy, you give better magic if you're sacrificed, and sacrificing children. And yet this is a supposed atheistic viewpoint of religion. They just say Satanism to I guess piss off people, I don't know. But it actually, really, this guy who started all of these things, Satan, about everything, he actually believed in this. He sacrificed children. He even said in his book that they like intelligent little boys. That's what Satan likes, and the purest, the smartest, and the youngest. It's just really sick. I'll actually leave a quote from the Satanic Bible up here, so you can actually see from his words, Aleister Crowley. And that's "do what thou willst" is an Aleister Crowley saying. As Jay-Z, you've seen him before, I don't know, online, but he wears a shirt that says "do what thou wilt." And it's just the music industry, it's really taken over by Satanists, and not the ones that I know a lot of people today say they are, but they don't believe in Satan or God. These are the ones that actually believe in both, and they take it very seriously, and they literally go to extents of child sacrifice, and that's a norm for them. Okay, so moving on with that, that's also for another video, but another quote that I found was from the press officer for the Beatles, and his name's Derek Taylor, and I quote, They're completely antichrist. I mean, I'm antichrist as well, but they are so antichrist. They shock me, which isn't an easy thing, end quote. That right there, that just tells a lot. And you know, people could say, well, he's antichrist, maybe he doesn't like Jesus. It's not just that. As we all know, Jesus in society at least is a symbol of everything that's good, even if you don't believe in him as whatever. So automatically when you see antichrist, and then you see that he believes in do what thou wilt, and then antichrist, you think that he's everything nasty and wrong with the world, and he's even much worse type of thing. So that's something you really need to think about. And these are people who are beloved by thousands of many's of, you know, good people who just don't realize what is really going on. So as we see, Satan runs the music industry, and he has for thousands of years, and it's going to continue to be like this. You know, pop stars have tried to speak out about it, but not always in the way you would think. You know, they leave clues in their lyrics. Many disregard what they say, thinking it is a, you know, hollow meaning, when in fact it has so much substance and so much scary truth behind it. You know, here's a good one right here, a verse out of Eminem's popular song, My Darling. And this is just one of his many. He also has another song called Careful What You Wish For, and more things that expose Satan being real and what he's done with selling his soul. So here it is, the verse. And I quote, "In dark shall emerge from the fiery pits of hell, and swallow the shell of the hollow who dwell, and the shadows of all who are willing to sell their souls for this rap game." And it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That ain't the hook. Now follow me. End quote. Okay, right there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 666. That's, I mean, as anybody could really, you know, if you look at, you see that. But he's talking about how, you know, you sell your soul, you're done. You have nothing left. Now you're just shell, because when you die, you are Satan's. And the thing is, the biggest lie from Satan is, and this is something that I really want to talk about right here real quick, is that, you know, people say you can sell your soul. You can't sell something to Satan that doesn't belong to him. You can't sell your soul to anybody. I don't care if it was the guy down the street because, you know, I don't know, he wanted to give you his car or something stupid like that, or I don't know, just anything ridiculous. You know, you just sell your soul for $1 million. No, and it's just like, no, you can't. And that's the biggest lie Satan tells you, is that once you sell your soul, you're his forever. You can never break free. Selling your soul cannot happen if your soul does not belong to the devil or anybody else. Doesn't even belong to you. It belongs to the great I am, Yahweh, our God in heaven, our Father. It belongs to him, and when we die, we'll go back up to him for judgment. Satan has no control over taking your soul to hell. You have control over that. That is your decision. That's where free will comes in place. And it's a lie that he tells these people, and they're scared, and I understand that. And they've probably seen things that, you know, just we can't even imagine what even thinking of, even in our head, just the evil they must have seen being around Satan and being around that crowd. People have sold their souls and the evil deeds that they have done, but it's never too late to turn around. It's never too late to get out of it and to repent and change your way. And through Jesus, you can break all of that. And that's a lie Satan does not want to be exposed. He does not want people knowing this. You cannot sell something that is not yours to sell. And I just wanted to make that a big thing in this, because if there's anybody out there who's ever done anything, comes across my video, and you know, maybe they're in something, they want to get out and they feel like they can't, Jesus can break all chains. Give it to him, trust in him. Satan's a liar. He wants to tell you Jesus can't break it. You're his forever. That, you know, you can never go back. You can never turn around, but that's a lie. You can turn around. And that's a big thing, you know. I feel we should pray for our enemies, and that's what God commands us to do, you know. Pray for these people who are so far in Satanism that are trying to get out, like Kesha and all these other stars. Pray for them, you know. And Jesus can break anything, and this is the thing. He can break all these bondages, and it's the ones that, you know, we've created. He can break them, but Satan cannot keep us unless we willingly allow it. And I guess, you know, that's basically it for my video today. I just want to make sure you guys know, you know, keep Jesus close to your heart, and through him all can be done. And I pray that this was a blessing for somebody. I pray that, you know, maybe you need to see this, or, you know, maybe there's somebody who needs to see this, who may come across this and help open your eyes from the great deception and the times of tribulation that we're in and that are to come. If you're new to my channel, again, please subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. I'll leave links of all my sources in the description below. I have quite many sources that you guys can go and check out for yourself, so you don't just have to take my word for it, so you can see where I'm getting this information from. Well, until next time, may Yahweh bless you all.